Hello there YouTube, this is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with another Inkbound daily. Today is the solo daily for September 2nd, and we will be playing Moss Cloak, going from Radiant Market to... I forgot the second one, I believe it's Garden's Edge. Anyways, Moss Cloak going to Radiant Market is definitely a concern that I have. Point being that Moss Cloak doesn't actually have good AoE, and that biome, if you will, definitely requires you to have good AoE. He does have good range, which is good for when you've got ink pots like literally everywhere, but particularly when you're going up against Captor, they like to spawn lots of enemies, and they put them on way far edges of the map. So generally speaking, you will sometimes have to spend 2 turns just to mop those up. Hopefully you can burst down Captor in 1 turn, or you can maybe clear 2 to 3 enemies and then just have enough damage to just burst through Captor's damage resist. Because since it's boss damage resist, you can't crack it open with something like Mark and offset it, because those two aren't additive like other sources of damage resist like you see on enemy buffs and such are. We start with 3 tiny heartstones. It's good to have sustain, but we also have -1 will reserve, and healing pools only restore 3 HP. This is terrifying. So they're definitely trying to kill us. Every time that we have a source of -1 will reserve, I always miss combat 1. So we might have to take combat 1 a little bit slower to make sure that we don't miss a turn. Especially with -1 will. And then of course clips of extraction, so we have literally 2 will. Okay, yeah, they're trying to kill us. Okay, if they're trying to kill us... Is Decayed Binding worth it? I think it might be Frosted Half Charm here, because Frosted Half Charm here is going to give all enemies on the first wave 4 stacks of Frostbite, and then we get 5 Frostbite damage, so it's 35 damage per time that we hit them. That is almost a free throw. So it definitely seems like this is how we could get that turn 1 oomph. Otherwise, we could do Elusive Whisper, because chances are we're not going to kill all enemies, so then that'll allow us to evade 1 attack once, and then after the first turn, we generally shouldn't have too much of a problem, because we're going to have multiple orbs down at that point. Decayed Binding is also a consideration. 50% bonus damage on turn 1 is considerable when you have half as much moves. That's still not like, say, a full turn, air quotes. But it's something. The question is Decayed Binding worth as much as Frosted Half Charm? The other thing that we have a problem with here is that currently our sustain are these tiny heartstones, and we're going to need this through book 1 likely, because it's going to be very hard for us to immediately solve the issues that we have, if we do at all. But we don't have enough room in here to have our build. So eventually we're going to have to wean off of these tiny heartstones, but we don't have healing wells to fall back on. So it's a very unique dilemma that we're in. I'm going to be crazy. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Frosted Half Charm. I'm going to try and will a Frost Cloak in here. 2 stacks of poison. Again, like an extra, technically 15 damage per hit. It's a little bit different than that, especially when you start stacking it, but the fact that this has to wait till after the turn, and then it hits, I'm really not about it. I'm also really not about white crit augs. I believe I've discussed it before. It's just absolutely suffer. We do have to fully augment 2 binding, so we are going to have the path to a binding empowerment likely. I wonder if the reroll is here, because that'll give us poison throw, or not poison throw, just damage throw, sharp throw. It's not that big of a boost. It's only 20%, which is actually worse than most other classes. These didn't really get upgraded when the autos did, but 60 damage is actually quite notable because a lot of your swarm enemies are around that health. And so I'm about it. I seriously hate this fight so much. Give me that. We'll go ahead. I actually don't think that we... We're going to hit him with Flurry. It'll kill, but we can't hit both of you. If we had the extended distance on Flurry, maybe we would be able to do this, but it's their... Like, it's like they specifically did this just to be annoying, right? I would kind of like to take care of you, actually. Okay, we have 4 will to kill all these enemies. And we're just shy there. So if we manage to get 1 physical power, then we'll be able to kill these guys. We got this, though. We'll go ahead and get these. Give me this again. And you're done. There's our 1 physical power. Now, if more of those jabbers show up, which they may or may not, then we at least have an answer to that. Why? Why? Guess we'll take Critical Flurry. When we do get a crit, it's going to be very good. And that's primarily the reason why I don't like white crit Augs. Right now, this is doing like basically nothing to us, unless we manage to roll a 1 out of 8. But how often are we using Flurry in a single fight? Not very. So, obviously we go ahead and we prime crits, right? Like, that's the way to do it. I don't agree with that either, because now you're using a whole bunch of other infrastructure just to get worth out of a white Aug when you've got white Augs that actually like meet breakpoints or give you more AoE, do all that sort of stuff. The average output of a white Aug is like 25%. And this Aug does, I believe I mathed it out to like 6 to 8%. So this is 1/3 of an Aug. And the Shining Grace is that if you crit, it's now worth closer to a blue Aug. But I don't know. There's a difference between using a slot on an Aug and maybe saying getting Ink Needle, which gives you approximately the same stats. Ink Needle affects all your skills and can be replaced. This Aug cannot. Otherwise, obviously, as you've seen, I'm not afraid to build crit generally. It's just that, again, the white and green Augs are not worth it. Lightning Bolt could be our AoE. If we Lightning Bolt something, dash through it, Flurry, then it will share 50% of its damage to everybody. That's pretty good. Blink. Blink is also very good because it will eventually, if we Aug it up, Blink is basically just more will. Like, that's the easiest way to think about it. It gives you orbs, it can give cost reductions to other skills. It just... it's free will on pretty much every single turn. And then, of course, if you're spawning orbs, then you can go into orb vestiges. You're getting cooldowns from it. Like, Blink is what Quicken wishes that it was, in my opinion. I think we might try Lightning Bolt. Because this isn't going to help us right now, and we need to solve some serious issues right now, and that's AoE. We want to go to a Binding Empowerment. I could also have seen that NPC there. Again, we sort of need some juice here. One stack of Bleed on hit doesn't do it for me. On defeating an enemy, gain 1 Shuriken. This is buggy. I've put in a couple F8s for this yesterday. Sometimes it doesn't go off. I'd rather not rely on it. We'll go ahead and take Lethal Lightning. That's pretty good in my opinion. And then of course here we have the reset cooldown. It's pretty good. We could go into a full bleed build. That could give us sustain if we happen to get, what is it, health stimulants? No, it's a new vestige. I can't remember the name of it. I would really like to have access to that. Then I would prefer to have it prepared, but that's not what they're showing us here. They're showing us Lethal Lightning. I'll take it. I may honestly need to take this Crimson Quillfish for this fight here. It's a hard fight in Radiant Market. I have to kill a treasure pod. I have no damage. Yeah. Alright. Disintegrate. Hit that. Give me my orb. And there we go. We're going to take a little bit of breakage here, but killing that pot and the money pot I feel is absolutely worth it. Of course, you had to roll beefy just to make me a liar on being able to meet your breakpoint. I should be getting some damage into the pot down there because he's going to global next turn, but I can't do much about it. Hoi! Okay. Hit that. Grab both of these. There we go. Oh, I forgot to shock first. This is a tragedy. Yep, I screwed that up. Supposed to shock dash, and then that would have enabled me to soften these guys up so that this would have killed them. We would have gladly taken the what am I trying to say? The blight damage. It really doesn't matter if we take blight damage. But instead, we have failed, and so we are going to take a turn penalty. So, don't do that. If you take anything from this video. It's a little upsetting. I even took the fish and everything. It would have been perfect. Uma's Whetstone is only first turn. I really don't believe in it. Like, it technically gives us some good spike because then we can lightning bolt something. If it doesn't accidentally kill anything now, then we can mark and flurry it. Flurry also has a critical damage aug. So all of a sudden we are able to do like insane AoE damage. I don't like it, but maybe I need to try it out since we lost a turn anyways. We do need to get some crit chance, but we also don't have damage as it is. Having access to lightning bolt more often seems like it's a good idea. Definitely better than increasing our base damage by just a measly 5 damage, which is like 12% of it. Again, like, some of these augs need help. Like, a green should be increasing this by about like 50%, so this should be like 15. We'll take the Quicken Lightning. Okay, After Image is another way to charge or prime crits so that we can actually have use of our critical augs. Smoke Bomb is incredible, especially if we happen to get hit and missed. If we happen to get hit and missed, then we would not be able to do a shock setup, because if they are shocked, then we would hit and miss them, and then that would get rid of the shock. What we could do is Smoke Bomb, then Shock. That would get rid of the innate mark on the enemy, and then we would have to dash through, and then we could hit everything. It's a little bit janky, in my opinion. I also don't disrespect Jinx. We need some way to actually, like, kill heavies that isn't spend 3 will on it with Shock, Dash, Flurry. And After Image just gives us crits. We're going to go ahead with Jinx. Interesting. We don't have money to spend, but if we didn't go to the Binding Empowerment, taking After Image there would enable this here. We'd get a little bit more crits, and whenever we would evade an attack, which we can do on purpose, then we get more damage the next turn. Interesting. Braced Belt might have been a consideration, but we're kind of strapped on cash. And so if we're fighting Captor, I kind of want to be as far right as possible. At least on Moss Cloak, because it'll make these melee enemies clump around us in a way that we can actually, like, interact with them. You know, sounds nice. Maybe we actually don't want to do that, though, because we do have that crit setup. So then let's take out this guy who's all here by himself. Still not quite enough to dispatch those guys. Kinda sad. Maybe we were supposed to trust in Jinx. Jinx would have killed both of them. Okay, we're gonna face this turn, so I kind of want to keep that that critical jinx, because that might face us the next turn, and that'll be, or the next phase, I should say. It's going to be kind of hard for us to phase him next turn. So instead, we are going to double dash. Flurry. Pick up another power orb. We're going to be just short. We're going to have to... Oh, come on, man. I really wanted to save that. I'm honestly not too concerned here. I think we're fine. Because this should do about half your health without help. Give me this. And then we're just going to go ahead and do this. Shock to 2 random enemies. Or 75 to all. Well, there's our AoE. The only problem I have with that is that versus Cinder, Lightning Storm is kind of garbo. We could probably get away with it, but it's just rough. Otherwise, Chain Lightning technically does more damage. I don't know. Maybe it is Lightning Storm. Why not? Why not? An additional stack of shock sounds good. I also really like Dreadful Jinx. Getting critical charges is also kind of important for us. So I could see critical dash as well. These are all pretty good for us. We're going to take critical dash because I feel like that's going to be more mandatory. With our low critical chance here, because we didn't really look into anything like spectacular, that's like the best that we've got right now. These are all terrible, and I'm going to suffer. Might as well scale our Jinx damage. Silent Promenade. That's definitely different from Garden. Alright. You, sir, are burrowed. I don't like that. Now, we could dash through here and mark them, which that plus 50% damage taken, or plus 100% damage taken is additive with burrowed. So it will cause us to actually be able to do damage, but we don't have any damage, though. That's the issue. So let's go ahead. Lightning Storm. It put both of them on you. That's interesting. I'm actually not sure I want to spend this. I think that might have been a misplay. Magic Pixel does not seem to exist. That's a crying shame. I'm the one crying. Give me these 2 orbs. And I wish to... Honestly... Like, this is the problem. If I go, like, here, right? I need to leave myself enough room to actually get out. And we don't even actually have that many, dread stacks. And this isn't killing, it's just all terrible. This is probably the worst day of our lives. I'm not too concerned, besides obviously the people that are like really good at the game. I'm sure that everybody's currently struggling. It's just kind of suffer to get handed such a specimen, we'll say. Okay. Give me that. I thought I saw, yep, there's all three. Go ahead and mark them all. This will allow us to get close to killing you. Shock is dealing some good work. And I want to leave that orb. Oh, we can't leave that orb. We gotta kill this man now. That is some suffer. That is some extra suffer. Okay, we're gonna take another turn penalty. 13 HP. And we used our potion. I desperately need something that does something. Sovereign's Flight would have been interesting because we were offered Smoke Bomb before. We're not doing any of this business. Give me this crit. Give me more crit. I would love to reduce the cost of Jinx. I was hoping to get a good old Dread Harvest. I feel like Relentless Barrage is pretty much our option here. To lose all of our damage and then port it over to magic doesn't really matter because we don't have anything. Speaking of which, we desperately need stats. These aren't stats. I'll take some crit damage. Okay. Hit you all with this. My shock stacks would put on a dead enemy. That's brilliant. I have managed to flub again. Whatever, we'll take the damage. Does this kill you? Not even close. Okay. And we'll do that. The money pot's important because we kind of need it in order to get our lift bonus. And let's get out of these bomb bits way. This positioning here is a little bit spooky. I think we're going to be fine. Put ourselves like here-ish. That's what I'm thinking. It is going to get us stuck. But I think that we're going to be fine. We are trading a lot of HP. And there we go. Study of Windsong is interesting. Carnival Candy is also interesting. It gives us 10 ability power, and its deficit is, oh no, we lose 1 ability power each turn. We don't care. We're going to be in a fight maximum 5 turns, and even then, that's plus 50% damage in the last turn. I think Carnival Candy is probably it. I would also really like to see Study a Windsong, but I don't think that it helps us this much. Wow. We have the critical charge. I think we can go crit damage here. I would like to have a little bit more crit chance, but this is probably okay. And there's the prepared. We'd love to see it. That's also one of our fully augmented bindings. We cannot afford to go to a binding empowerment here. In fact, I think we're going to be just short, so we need to find some Quillings here. For the love of Gob. 3 rolls, I like it. And then we're going to have to find some in the elite area too, because this can give us a maximum of 50. So I think that going to that binding empowerment did actually cost us our Quilling arrangement. Which we were doing what was in our best interest anyway, so I don't know if it was good or bad, right? Well, I don't need to move at all. We should take this power orb though, because if we're going to try and phase him this turn, we're going to need some juice, and this is the juice. Okay, we're not going to get him this turn, but he's definitely done next turn. I'm not concerned. In fact, that's pretty much it right there. Alright, we found damage. It's Jinx. Grim Vortex, pulling enemies towards us? We gain Dread faster, but it gives us less damage. I can probably deal with that, honestly. Bewitch is a lot of damage. It honestly might be Bewitch. Double R scaling. Start with 2 stacks. Especially going into the elites, we probably need it. I also like Dreadful Jinx. Piercing Throw is definitely notable. The only problem that we're going to have here is, do we need our legendary here or just before the final? Because if we wanted here, then we're going to have to take this extra stack of Shocked. So I think we gotta take that extra stack of Shocked. What did we get? An extra 10 HP. I also like the idea of the Omic Orb Walkers, but it doesn't really... We're not going into good fights for that. The elites, this isn't gonna matter much. Like, again, it does do 120. 120 to all enemies when we normally don't get anything is kind of nice. Conduit of Hybridized is kind of better for us because we're more about spike damage. Heart of the Last Lifeless could potentially mean that we actually get our health bonus. And that's worth quite a bit to me. especially because we can't get Quillings. There's no feasible way. If that last chest, well, I guess there could be 2 breakables. But if that last breakable rolled 3 drops for 5, we're still going to be short. So depending on what happens there, we might just re-roll the final vault. Man. This is also going to give us even more damage. I don't hate it. But getting an extra will per orb with Clips of Extraction, this finally starts paying for itself. And then, of course, we get extra ability power sometimes. I think we're going to do Heart. And if we're doing Heart, I don't think that we need Frosted Half Charm anymore. I kind of want to keep these Heart Stones. We'll drop one of them in this after this elite fight for sure. That's more crit chance. Okay. I'm happy now. Oh, we can take this because it's not going to full heal us. Oh, I hate it. Okay. I'm going to do a swing. And then just destroy all of you. And that's why I like this setup here on Scavenger's Dash. We should pick this up for more orbs next turn. Because more orbs also means more cooldowns. Now we really shouldn't use Lightning Storm here. So what that actually might be is this. And then we'll use that same setup again on these guys. So, Shock. I guess we just only have to mark one guy. Give me my orbs. It's a little annoying. It's like incredibly annoying. Okay, we're going to lose a turn here because we didn't pick up that orb. I was almost assured that that was going to kill him. We're just screwing up everything today. But hey, at least it's room for you guys to improve. Inkrito, we want it. Even more crit chance, please. And this being free isn't bad. I'm going to take Dreadful Jinx, though. And it was only one collectible, destructible, whatever they want to call them. So we were 14 short because we went to a Binding Empowerment. But I'll be honest with you, you really would have had to have gone out of your way because we don't have that many more augments. Oh, I should probably look at this for you guys. There you go. Teeth on a String is very nice. Actually, it's a little late for Teeth on a String. You're going to fight maybe 4 extra people here. Like, these guys are definitely doing more work than Teeth on a String. Physical power, though. Can't say no to that. Good lord, that hurts. Alright. I really don't need to hit you with this. It's just this guy here. Yeah, let's keep the juice for next turn. Yeah, that was simple. We just screwed up, what was it, 3 turns. We didn't meet Quillings. That is unfortunate. What are you going to do, though? It was a pretty hard run. I mean, top score is currently 39, 80, 50, or 850, so apparently a lot of people are having issues with it, but that means that there's tons of room up there up top for you guys if you guys want to get out there and get that top score. Hopefully the run was educational or at least entertaining. If you guys have any feedback whatsoever, be it questions, comments, concerns, misplay alerts, be sure to put that down in the comments below. And until next time, we will catch you guys around.